Hi, I'm Jimmy Chang, and we're here to talk about what are the three requirements for an algebraic expression to be considered a polynomial. Now, the requirements are pretty straightforward, but they all center around the variables. You can do whatever you want to the constants, but the variables have some very specific criteria, so let's get right into it. Now, the first requirement is that you cannot have any negative exponents in the variables. So what that means here is you cannot have things like x to the negative 3, y to the negative 2, anything like that. If you have any terms like that, you're not going to have a polynomial as a result because of the criteria. You can have numbers raised to negative exponents like 2 to the negative 4, 5 to the negative 1, things like that. That's okay, but you cannot have negative exponents for the variables. Now, you cannot have any fraction exponents in the variables either. Okay, so for example, you cannot have x to the 1/2 or y to the 3/4. You don't want to have any fraction variables and fraction exponents in the variables. Now you can raise numbers to those fraction powers, that's okay. If you have 3 to the 3/4 power or 5 to the 1/2 power, that's okay. But you cannot have any fraction exponents in the variables. Now, you cannot have anything weird like x to the pi, or you can even have certain decimal exponents. You cannot have, for example, y to the 4.2. So that's kind of related to that, but 4. And lastly, you cannot have any variables in the denominator. Otherwise, you're not going to have a polynomial. So in other words, you cannot have anything like 3 over x or 4 over y squared. That's not possible. You cannot have any variables in the denominator to have a polynomial. Now, you can have numbers in the denominator, that's okay. You can have x over 3, but you cannot have any variables in the denominator. So, I'm Jimmy Chang, and those are 3 requirements for an algebraic expression to be considered a polynomial.